I want to just quickly bring up an article that David Brower wrote today in MinnPost, and it's the title of it: TV stations try to thwart online political ad buy disclosure. I'm sure you heard about this, but basically he says the Federal Communications Commission mandates broadcasters publicly report ad buys and even purchase requests. The disclosure is often available months before campaign finance reports, and in some cases more detail, enable journalists and intrepid citizens to discover strategy and investigate buyers in the pre-election run-up. Problem now is the stations are saying, well, no one's interested in the information. Do you buy that?
Oh, no, not at all. I think the public is definitely interested. And also in light of what's been happening with Citizens United and the lack of transparency that's happening at the federal level, this in some instances is the only way that the public can get information about this type of political spending at the federal level. I mean, you have all these super PACs that have been created as a result of Citizens United. And in some ways, it's only that disclosure through the FCC that the public really knows where the money's coming from. So I think it's really critical that this continue to be available for the public to inspect.
I want to quote here. TV broadcasters, quote, say their profits outweigh public empowerment. In effect, they contend demand can be served by reporters like the locals who must make the so-called the 50-mile circuit from Fox 9 to CARE to WCCO to KSTP to Comcast Cable.
Well, and that's really the frustrating part of this, is that there's really a conflict of interest with the major media on this, is that they've really refused to cover these issues of campaign finance over the last several years because they're one of the direct beneficiaries of all this political spending.
That's right, they have a vested interest.
I mean, and so the more that they can hide the disclosure, the more that they can shield those donors, they're thinking that they're going to then spend a lot more money. And so they have a vested interest in making sure that there isn't that disclosure and making sure that people are spending as much as money.
When are people going to learn they need to get their real news from alternative media?
Mike, you may not want to do this, but I'm just going to put it out there. Can you speculate, because this is, as a citizen, this is the question I wonder, can you speculate on who was donating to the constitutional amendment? And was it outside the state or was it inside the state?
That's what we've seen in other states. So in the California spending and the Maine spending, what was disclosed is that was a lot of out-of-state money coming in, and that's why they're trying to avoid that disclosure, is that becomes part of the debate. You know, why you have all these outside interests of the state of Minnesota spending all this money and trying to influence how we address marriage issues in this state. And so I think that is the motivation. I mean, it is all speculation at this point, but I think that very much is the reason why they're trying to hide it.